Baby, you are so money and you don't even know it.
Oh, yeah?
All right, so you ready for the top 5 movies of 1996?
Or at least our top 5 favorites.
Yes.
There were a ton of really good movies.
Yes.
Not like last year where, had to struggle to get like a top 5. This one, there was a lot of movies that could be in the top 5.
A lot of movies and a lot of different types of movies. Like, to me, it was a really good year for kind of like the unusual art house indie films that that did well actually in that year. So we'll see. We may have at least one in common, but
Yes, I would think we'd have one in common.
yes. So I'll start. I think
I
you
know-
started last time.
I know one that you're going to pick.
Yeah.
And I did not pick that because I knew that you didn't. And that one that I think you did that I didn't should definitely be in the top 5.
All right. We'll see.
That's to let you know.
Okay. All right. Well, my number 5 is actually it was a very popular movie, and I think it did well in the box office, had a lot of big actors, could even be on your list. It's A Time to Kill.
No, it was not on my list.
Ah, okay. Yeah, the another one of those John Grisham novels that were turned into a movie. This one directed by Joel Schumacher and stars Matthew McConaughey. This was one of his first big roles, actually. I think his first lead actor role in a movie, and he was great as the lawyer, Jake Brigance, who defends Samuel Jackson's character, who righteously kills these 2 rednecks that raped his daughter. Like, looking back on the movie now, there's some ridiculous moments in the movie. Of course, like the famous Samuel Jackson line, "Yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they rot in hell," or whatever. and then you got all-star cast. You got Sandra Bullock playing the assistant. That it feels a little bit like the A Few Good Men relationship, like the Tom Cruise character. And then you've got Kiefer Sutherland playing another redneck, Donald Sutherland playing an old washed up lawyer. The list goes on. And yeah, it's a fun courtroom movie.
Okay, good. That was a good pick.
Yeah. Oh, Kevin Spacey also was
in it. Okay.
the defense attorney.
This was like Spacey's time also.
Yes.
There was a lot of actors that was like their time, in this time thing.
Indeed, yeah. Absolutely. So all right, what's your number 5?
My number 5 was one of the blockbusters, and I just rewatched it again last night.
Yes.
And I watched it and I'm going, wow, this was really good. And then I'm going, well, maybe I'll move it up on my list, right? And then I look at my list again and I go, I can't move this up.
All right. So what is it?
The movie is The Rock.
Ah, yes, The Rock. That was a fun one too.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage, Sean Connery, Ed Harris. I can't remember.
Michael Biehn was in it too.
Yeah, that's right. Biehn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another all-star cast.
I know. Yeah, so it was this Marine Corps general gets pissed off at the government because they're not recognizing all the secret ops that they did.
Right.
And the people that died didn't even get medals or anything. It's just like they just vanished off the thing. So he's going to hold people ransom on Alcatraz Island.
Right.
That captures them and stuff like that. So it's up to Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage to rescue these people and to deactivate the missiles that had this weird sarin gas
Right. Yeah. It was like
dissolved,
biological
yeah,
warfare. Yeah.
dissolved you, besides the other thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
So Cage
and,
was like an expert on that stuff, but
right, I
not so
know.
much of a hero. So then Connery's like the badass in the movie,
Yeah,
which is cool.
Connery was, I think he was MI5 or MI6, one of those things.
Right.
And I don't even know why he got arrested, but he was in prison.
Right. Yeah. It
So
was
they,
fun, the chemistry that they had in the
yeah.
movie.
But the thing that I didn't remember was Nicolas Cage's name in the movie.
I don't remember either. What was it?
It was Goodspeed.
Yeah. Such a made up movie name.
I know. And,
Yeah.
Connery asked him about it. He goes, do you know what your name means? And he said, yeah, Godspeed.
Right. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And, but the thing is, like, he had to like it fit for what the purpose he was in the movie, where he had to like deactivate, the thing, and
Right.
he had to do it good,
Right. Right.
without dropping one of those little green balls.
Yeah, right. It's kind of like the cliche of the red wire and the blue wire, except with little green balls. Like
Right.
I think it's directed by Michael Bay, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it was directed by Michael Bay.
Yeah, he's known for having a lot of those action movie cliches, but it's a fun movie. I mean,
it was. It was a fun movie. I mean, it was basically constant action.
Yeah.
I mean, there was car crashes, before they got to Alcatraz.
Of course.
With Cage chasing Connery in the Humvee.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, cool stuff.
Thing is just crashing through San Francisco and stuff like that.
Exactly.
It had all these elements. His girlfriend pregnant and she's in San Francisco. So it was a motivation for him to make sure he gets all the missiles and stuff.
Indeed.
It was good.
Okay, cool pick. All right, so my number 4 will definitely not be on your list.
Because it must be.
I don't know. You may not see this one coming. Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore.
No,
I did not see that coming. We're not going to have anything on our list.
I know. But yeah, out of all the Adam Sandler comedies that are pure ridiculous Adam Sandler comedies, this is my favorite. I actually like this as a golf spoof movie better than Caddyshack. And I know that's crazy to say, but it's just got so many hilarious moments, like him getting in a fight with Bob Barker from The Price is Right and actually getting beat up by him. Carl Weathers playing this old golfer that got his hand bit off by an alligator. And there's like this whole backstory, and he has a wooden hand that keeps getting like run over accidentally and all this stuff. And then, just the whole thing where Happy Gilmore really wanted to be a hockey player, and he loves the violence of hockey, but because he can drive the ball really far in golf, he wants to win. And the whole thing is him trying to win money to get his grandma out of this home and get into her house. So there's like a sweet element to it as well. It's totally ridiculous, but it's one of Sandler's best. It's no Uncut Gems, but it's
actually there was another golf movie in that year also that did not make my list. Tin Cup.
Oh yes, right. Tin Cup, with Kevin, what's his name?
Yeah, Kevin Costner.
Yes, Costner, right. But I forgot to mention the villain in Happy Gilmore is also great. Shooter McGavin, who every time gets the ball in the putt, he like does this little shooter thing. It's so stupid. And all the side characters, like this big guy who gets a nail stuck in his head, and I could go on and on. Even Ben Stiller plays this abusive orderly to his grandma, and that's hilarious. So yeah, Happy Gilmore is awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I guess. Yeah. It was a fun comedy.
Okay, I'm
But
glad
I
you
would
recognize that.
rank it as one of the top 5 movies. But okay. You're talking from your childhood. It's okay. How old were you when you saw Happy Gilmore? Where are we? 96.
96, I would have been 16. Perfect age to enjoy.
16. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I can see where we are. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait, I was 18 in 96. So yeah. Okay. So what's your number 4?
My number 4 was another blockbuster this year. Uh, Also an action movie.
Yes.
Mission Impossible,
Okay.
the first one.
Yeah, that's a good pick that I actually thought you would probably have.
Okay. Tom Cruise, John Voight, directed by Brian De Palma.
Yep.
It picks up after like the TV series. I can't remember like how many seasons that was, but it was a lot of seasons.
Right.
And Jim Phelps, the guy that was in the TV series, is now played by John Voight in the movie. And they have this mission, and everybody gets killed. The only one left is Tom Cruise. So therefore, he's, the culprit, the bad guy. So the whole movie is him trying to prove his innocence. But lots of action.
A lot of great stunts.
Yeah, stunts. The helicopter going into the tunnel.
Right.
With the train, all that weird stuff, and the helicopter blades.
Yeah. This was the one too where he was like dangling upside down.
Yeah, dangling upside down. They couldn't do anything. They couldn't. It was almost like they couldn't even breathe in this thing because it would set some sort of sensor off on the thing.
Yeah. A lot of people say that like some of the more recent Mission Impossibles are the best ones.
I agree.
But
But
the first one was really good too, and definitely better than, I think Mission Impossible 2 was the really bad one where it was like too much slow motion and stuff. But
I mean, this is like the first serious movie that Cruise was in.
That's serious as far as
like a drama type thing, where he wasn't a kid, like in,
I guess so. Like, because even A Few Good Men, like that was a serious drama, but he was still really young in that.
Yeah, he was like really young. And he still looks really young in the Mission Impossible too. But you can see that he started his acting is starting to get better.
Yeah, and he plays more of like a fully formed adult, like in Top Gun and A Few Good Men. He's always like the ghost of his father, like trying to measure up to that and stuff like that.
He's goofing around and stuff.
Yeah. Well, very cool. Well, so my number,
like Rain Man, he wasn't serious and stuff, all that stuff. So this was a movie where he was serious.
Okay. Well, my number 3 may be the one we have in common. We'll see. This is a movie directed by the Coen brothers, and it is Fargo.
Yes, and that is farther up on my list.
All right.
It's your number 4?
Number 3.
Oh, okay. Number 3. Okay. Well, I'll give you number 3 on that one.
Well, we'll see after I tell you by 2 and 1. But yeah, this is man, one of the Coen
Well,
brothers'
I
best
think I
movies.
know what your number one is going to be, and that's the one, like I said, that I didn't
Yeah.
uh,
Okay.
do, but it definitely deserved to be in the top five. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I mean, one of the Coen brothers' best, Frances McDormand in the leading role, basically, of the pregnant cop that's investigating these murders. That it's like it's almost a comedy of errors as well as a drama. Like there's so many different genres being mixed around here, but it's always funny because the the character of North Dakota in Fargo and all these people that talk with that accent, like saying, "Oh yeah," the whole movie.
Yeah, I know.
Like just that alone is funny.
Yeah, you're being not correct here.
Oh yeah.
Picking on people from North Dakota.
Well, it's so fun though.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that was Frances McDormand,
Right.
that played the pregnant cop, and I guess we can't say that either.
Why not?
I don't know.
But yeah,
Yeah,
everybody in it's great. William H. Macy playing the guy
right.
who's having his wife kidnapped to get money.
I know all these weird
Ridiculous.
situations, with his wife trying to escape with
Yeah.
her hands tied behind her back and the sack over her face,
Yeah.
and Buscemi and the other guy are
Yeah.
just like watching her crash into things.
Yeah, and those two guys are perfectly cast. Steve Buscemi is like such a weird looking dude, but he really is like awesome in that movie. Like
Yeah.
when he gets
So,
shot
I
in the
mean,
face.
the whole basis of the story was Macy got in debt,
Yeah.
and he tried to get money from his father-in-law,
Right.
and because he had this idea that he just wanted his father-in-law to give him money for so he could do it. Then his
Right.
father-in-law decided to do the thing and keep everything for himself. So
Exactly.
then he hires these two guys, Buscemi, and I can never remember the other guy's name.
Yeah, me too. But
Yeah, so, and to kidnap his wife, which obviously is
yeah.
the guy's daughter, and to get money out of him.
Right. Yeah, and everything goes wrong.
Right.
Yeah. And
nothing goes right.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
Yeah, and then it's like, and then he had problems because he gave them a car.
Right. Yeah,
then-
because he works at the car dealership.
Right.
It's so great, man.
And that was coming back to haunt them and stuff.
And Macy especially was amazing in the movie because he had to play this super nice guy, but underneath he's like losing it. Like there's that part where he just like starts beating on his own car and the windshield wipers because nothing's going right. But then he's like, he has to go back in the office and be like, "Oh yeah, I'll sell you this car,"
Right.
and then McDormand is also, great in the movie. And then even the relationship with her and her husband, where it's just like, he bought some fishing stuff that day or whatever, just nonsense, normal
Yeah, I know, like
day-to-day stuff.
when she got woken up at 3 o'clock in the morning because, the cop was killed and stuff.
Right.
And then and he goes, "I'll make you eggs." No, I'm okay. No, you need eggs.
Right.
I'll make you eggs.
So great. I love it, man.
Yeah, his name was Norm in the thing.
Norm, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. And he also does the "oh yeah" thing.
Yeah,
I
think that. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like so nonchalant.
Exactly.
When they were saying it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yes. So it was higher on my list.
Okay. All right. Well, what's your number 3?
My number 3 was Independence Day. Another blockbuster.
You're going with all the blockbusters.
I'm going with all the blockbusters.
Wow.
This was a great movie. Of course, they made the sequel just recently to it.
Right.
but it didn't have the same feel as the
No.
original. I
No,
mean,
no.
ton of people in here: Will Smith, Jeff Goldblum, Bill Pullman, Mary McConnell,
Randy Quaid.
Randy Quaid, Judd Hirsch, Brent
Yeah.
Spinner from Star Wars fame, Star Trek.
Oh,
Star
okay.
Trek fame.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes. I know who you're talking
yeah,
about.
yeah,
Yeah,
Data. So
right.
yeah, I mean, and they were all great in the parts that they played.
Yes, yes. Randy Quaid was perfectly cast as like the crazy pilot.
Yeah, the crazy pilot.
Pullman
course,
was good as the president.
Yeah, the story goes that the world is attacked by aliens,
Yes.
and they're trying to find a way to kill them and stuff like that. And Will Smith is a fighter pilot. He shoots one of them down and drags the alien practically to
Right.
Hangar 18.
One of his first big action movies, I think, at the time. Because
Right,
up until then, he was more or less the Fresh Prince. You know, this was like a breakthrough movie for him.
right.
And
And Goldman is
Goldblum, yeah,
the
he was
timid,
excellent.
Goldblum, the timid
Scientist
guy
guy.
that like a real brain, but
Yeah.
he was working for some company that was tracking
Yeah.
the space for the noise and stuff like that.
It's another fun action movie, kind of like The Rock, and also with like one of those endings where, to me, it's like it's ridiculous how they figured out the aliens' technology like within minutes, and then beamed up and delivered a bomb to them, basically.
Yeah.
But whatever, it makes for a good popcorn movie.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I've watched this movie, I don't know, it must be like 25 times.
There's that infamous scene, like, doesn't the White House explode at one point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if everybody cheered at that point.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, and I remember like fireballs like going down the streets of New York and just like craziness.
Yeah, which was kind of impractical too.
Yeah.
That they just managed to escape
Right.
just before the White House blew up and stuff.
Yeah,
like
right.
that.
But when you think about it, like Independence Day is one of those movies that really spawned and continues to spawn like all these alien attack, Armageddon movies, post-apocalyptic kind of stuff.
Right, but this wasn't like a serious alien movie like Alien.
Yeah, right. No.
This was comedy mixed in and stuff. It was a fun movie to watch.
Yes.
It's something like Raiders. You
Uh-huh.
just sit back and you watch it and you enjoy it.
Right. Yeah. I'll give you that. All right. So my number 2, I'm not sure if you think this is gonna be my number 1 movie or not.
Okay.
It's Sling Blade.
Yeah, that's what I thought your number 1 was going to be.
Okay, so you'll have
But
no
now
idea.
I don't know what your number 1 is.
Good. Okay. Well, I'll keep you guessing. But yeah, Sling Blade, written, directed, and starring Billy Bob Thornton. Just on that merit alone, what he did, like creating this character and a movie to surround it, is amazing. Like just the character of Carl, and how he transforms, even the way he looks, not just sounds, but this mentally challenged guy who is in a facility, and he gets out and befriends this young boy who's his mother is in an abusive relationship with this guy played by Dwight Yoakam, who's also like really great in the movie. And over the top. And then you got the side character, John Ritter, playing this gay character. All the characters are great. Even Robert Duvall makes an appearance in this too, as Carl's father. But man, it's just, this movie, I love it for so many different reasons. It's got a lot of humor to it. especially the way Carl like just interacts with people. Like, I want some French fried taters. Like the way he talks, and but then it's got a real heart to it with the relationship with the kid and some really dark stuff too, with Yoakum's character playing this alcoholic and yelling at his band, which is equally funny in that moment too. And then it gets like this crazy ending. It's so great. So you did not put this on your list, I
No, I
see.
did not, because I knew that you were so high on this movie that
Yeah.
you forced me to watch this movie.
Against your will.
Yeah, so yeah, obviously it's not my type of movie,
Right.
so I didn't appreciate the movie as much as you appreciated the movie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I didn't put it on my list, but I figured you would put it high enough on your list that it would make the top 5.
Yeah.
Because I said it did deserve to be on it.
All right. Cool.
Because of the acting, and the director.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now I know that Fargo is the only one we have in common. So what's your number 2?
My number 2, and I know this is not your number 1.
Yes.
Star Trek: First Contact.
Oh yeah, definitely did not make my list.
I knew. The usual people: Patrick Stewart, Jonathan Frakes, Brett Spinner, LeVar Burton, Michael Dorn, and this was directed by Jonathan Frakes.
Yeah. And this one, you did put this, if I'm not mistaken, on your top 5 Star Trek list too, right? It's one of your favorites?
It's one of my favorite movies. So this is like a going back in time movie.
Yeah.
The Borg is going back in time to stop the guy that invented the warp drive. I can't even think of his name. But played by James Cromwell.
Okay.
To stop him from doing warp drive, and if he did that, then the Vulcans wouldn't see him.
Right.
And Starfleet may never have happened.
Right.
So
yeah.
That's
I vaguely remember. I was never into the Next Generation stuff as much.
I know. You weren't really that much into Star Trek.
Yeah, I mean, I did like, some of the stuff like Wrath of Khan and Search for Spock, Voyage Home, like that era. Right. I really dug it. But
yeah, well, that's because you were used to, the other guys. But actually, the Next Generation ones, I just started seeing them again when I was over, Joe's house, because he was like showing them to the kids, and I really like those movies.
Yeah,
where they're more serious.
Right.
Than the previous generation, the originals.
I think that's what I miss. Like there wasn't like a McCoy to give you that comedy.
I mean, the humor was there, but it was more dry.
Yeah, more subtle. Like Data had some good humor, that character.
Yeah, even though he was, an android that had really no emotions.
Right.
But yeah, he was always trying to become human.
Yeah, exactly.
So Frakes and Geordi, LeVar Burton, they're trying to get the guy that invented the warp drive to actually do the flight. He's against it now, and they're telling him like all the things that like they built a statue to him on this site, and he goes, "A statue?" We go, "Of me?"
Yeah,
and he starts walking off into the woods trying to get lost and stuff like that. And then you got Picard and and Spinner fighting the Borg that have already boarded his ship and are taking it over and making it a hive. So yeah, it's really good, really
Okay.
good, and really fun.
All right. All right. Well, since you're on a roll with all these action adventure movies, I'm assuming your number one will also be one. I don't know what it'll be,
No,
but
now you know what my number one is.
oh, that's right.
It's
Fargo.
Fargo.
Ah, nice. Okay, so now my number one. Are you ready?
Yes.
Drum roll. Swingers.
Who?
I knew that was going to be your reaction. You probably don't even remember. I think I forced you to watch this movie against your will also.
What was the name again?
Swingers, which is not a porn movie like you would think. It's John Favreau and Vince Vaughn before they were known. And this is directed by Doug Liman, but it's written by Favreau. And it's basically these guys that are trying to be actors that live in LA. Is this ringing a bell now? Who are one of them? He just moved to Los Angeles and broke up with his girlfriend, and he's trying to get over it. And his friends are trying to cheer him up. So Vince Vaughn, who's essentially playing himself in this movie, takes him to Vegas. So there's like this whole road trip to Vegas in the beginning of the movie. And it has all these quotes that I still use to this day where Vince Vaughn says, "You're so money, baby. You're so money and you don't even know it." And it's like this buddy movie, but it's also it's just hilarious, their adventures. And then they come back to LA and he's still I love it because like I could relate to some things in it, like with getting over a breakup, having this camaraderie of friends who like to make movies. And so it's kind of like it's got some meta things going on as well in the movie. But then he ends up meeting, and the reason it's called Swingers is because they're into going to these bars, which at the time, I guess in the mid 90s, they had all these clubs where swing dancing from like the 30s and 40s was back in style. So the soundtrack has all this swing music, and so it has nothing to do with sex, but there's some kind of promiscuous scenes in the movie, but they're all comedy based. So
I do not remember this movie at all.
well, you'll have to see
it went completely out of my head.
Yeah. Vince Vaughn
I don't think I even put it on Letterboxd that I saw it.
You may not have seen it. You may actually need to sit down and watch this, but just for Vince Vaughn's performance in this movie, it's worth it, because he is just, they just let him go. I think the rumor is, well, it's not a rumor. Favreau wrote this for Vince Vaughn based on things he really said in real life, because he was just this larger than life, good with the ladies character, and he's just hilarious in it. So that is the list. So this is going to be interesting. So I guess we got to put Fargo at number one, of course.
Well, yeah, since I was the only.
So that means Swingers gets to be number two, because that was my one. And then I'll give you First Contact at three, so that's your two. And then Sling Blade makes it at four, because that's my number two. And actually, this is easy to put together, because then the next one down is Independence Day at your three. So bam, there we go. So what was your honorable mention?
My honorable mention was the other Tom Cruise movie that came out that year.
Which was?
Show Me the Money!
Ah, yes, Jerry Maguire. Actually, I almost put that as my honorable mention also.
Did you really? Okay.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
It's fun. Cameron Crowe directed it. Yeah.
Yeah. Cuba Gooding Jr. This was probably like, I get the start of his career.
Yeah, and I think he won Best Supporting Actor for it.
Yeah, he did. I'm pretty sure he did too. Renee,
Zellweger.
yeah, I
Yeah,
couldn't even say her name either.
right. But yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that was a fun movie.
yeah, fun movie. Yeah, he gets kicked out of his job. He's going solo, and he's trying to keep the accounts he has. The only one he winds up with is the football player that Hugh plays. So yeah, it's a fun movie, and he doesn't play a serious sport.
Right.
It's like, it's comedy romance thing.
Yes, indeed. Very
So
good. Good pick.
so now the other one was an action hero. This one, yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Shows his range. So and again, like more of an adult character here as well.
yeah.
So my honorable mention was Scream, the horror movie
Yes, I know.
by Wes Craven, which also was kind of a tongue-in-cheek horror movie. The way that it was made, it was kind of lampooning some of the other horror films, but it had some legitimate scares in it.
And then there was Scream 2, Scream 3,
Yes,
Scream 4. I think
way too many.
I think I watched the first 3, and then I
Yeah,
stopped watching them. Yeah,
yeah,
because all it was a spoof thing, and I couldn't keep watching them because I didn't watch horror movies that much.
right.
After that, I watched all the slashers in the beginning that they were spoofing. So later on, I didn't get the jokes because I didn't see the horror movies.
Right, right. Yeah, it's one of those, I had to mention it because I never was super into horror movies. Like, I know there was a point in time when I was a kid where I kind of got into the Freddy and Jason stuff just for a little while,
Right?
but it's more of a nostalgic thing.
You were Freddy at a Halloween one time too. I think.
That's right. Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember I had the thing. But
yeah.
yeah, yeah, I had the mask too, I remember. But yeah, I think they spoofed the stuff well, and then also it kind of had an ending where you couldn't quite see it coming the way it was going to happen. So I thought the first one was well done. I thought, they got dumber as they went, but yeah, for me to get sucked into a slasher film like that, it
Well,
impressed
it
me
was
at
a
the time.
scoop on slasher movies, but
Yes.
yeah, it was good. It was funny.
All right,
And,
cool.
and it was clever.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots of good movies, like you said, this year. And
And even more,
yeah.
because I have to mention like Twister.
Oh, right. Yeah. Bill
Yeah,
Paxton. That was a fun
that
movie
was a
too.
big one. I mentioned Sin Cup already.
Yeah.
Broken Arrow.
Yeah.
The John
Travolta playing a
Travolta.
bad guy. Yeah.
Yeah. My Fellow Americans was cute.
Yeah, that was a funny movie, actually. I remember
Yeah,
that.
it was
Jack
funny.
Lemmon and James Garner, right?
Yeah, fighting, going against each other. But Dan Aykroyd was in the movie.
That's right.
Wilford Brimley was in the movie.
Yeah.
John Hurd was in the movie. So I mean, it had like a really good cast.
Yeah. 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 It was funny. I remember.
And then Eraser, the Schwarzenegger movie.
I don't remember that one as much, but yeah.
James Caan
Okay.
and Vanessa Williams.
Right.
She was the Playboy centerfold.
Yes, right.
In real life, I'm not
Yes. Yeah, I know. I'm aware. Well, cool. All right. Well, let's read off the official favorite movies of 3 and 4 from 1996. At number 5, Independence Day. At number 4, Sling Blade. At number 3, Star Trek First Contact. At number 2, Swingers. And at number 1, Fargo. Yeah. I dig the list. It's got a good variety, I think.
So yes, we did have good variety.
So, all right. Cool. cool. We met in the middle on that one.
Yeah.
So next week, tune in for the best movies of 1997. Maybe we'll have more in common that time. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
You never know.
keep coming up-
97 was a
you keep
weird year
coming up
too.
with the sleepers, you know,
Exactly.
it's gonna be that. You know,
Sleepers. That's another movie I think from 96 as well.
Was it
A movie called
I-
Sleepers.
I'm surprised you didn't put that as number one.
No, it wasn't that good. That's the
Yeah, I
one.
know.
But
That
yeah,
was-
that was in 96.
Yeah, that was the one where he fell asleep and he came into the future.
No. You're thinking of Woody Allen. Sleepers had Brad Pitt and Dustin Hoffman. It was like an all-star cast, a very serious drama about some kids that got molested and then they're adults seeking revenge or something.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, you thought I was going Woody Allen on
Yeah, I
you.
thought you were going Woody Allen. What was the name of that one?
I think it was Sleeper, no S.
Okay, no
Yeah.
S, okay.
That was in like the
I got
70s.
confused.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, I'll see you on the next one. Love you.
Love you too.
All right. Bye.